Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Joe Palmer begins now.
Good evening, everyone. A man was almost trapped by flames this morning when a discarded cigarette butt ignited a pile of cardboard at the only exit to a unit. A working smoke alarm helped in a quick response to the fire, and luckily its spread was limited.
Emergency crews on the scene of a small fire at an upstairs unit in North Hobart just after 8 o'clock.
It appears that the occupier has had a cigarette and discarded it outside his porch, which contained a lot of cardboard, and that actual container that the cigarette was in has ignited.
I saw a big plume of smoke and I thought, oh my God, that looks like it's coming from my building. And when I got in close, there was a lot of flames and a huge plume of smoke.
An occupant inside at the time, escaping with minor smoke inhalation.
He was alerted by the smoke alarm, which was just inside the hallway. He went and got a bucket of water, a couple of buckets of water, and knocked the fire down. Only one way in and one way out of that unit upstairs, so he was pretty lucky in that sense.
The owner of Principal Computers, which is moving in downstairs, thankful of quick-thinking actions.
Some hero just jumped up the fence here and grabbed this big pile of rubble that was aflame and threw it over in the car park. But it was quite scary.
And authorities have determined the cause of a fire at a Newtown apartment complex yesterday afternoon. Fire investigators pinning it down to an iron which was accidentally left on. The blaze destroyed the unit, but damage to surrounding apartments was limited. Michael Breen, 7 Tasmania News.
More vision has emerged of a brazen crime spree which damaged half a dozen businesses during a night of madness. Victims have spoken of their anger and frustration as they foot the bill, while police search for the gang of 4 suspects.
It's dark and quiet in Perth's main street when a stolen Mitsubishi dual cab pulls up at the town's IGA. Shielded by hoodies and balaclavas, the wannabe bandits make a sloppy attempt at prying open the front door. Frustrated, they decide to smash the window, a reckless act leaving a big damage bill for the owner.
You just feel that you work really hard and then you just have people that come along that have no respect for others.
The crooks weren't done there, ramming the front of Celebrations Mowbray in a night of negligence where 6 businesses were hit. The owner of the stolen car says the '89 Triton wasn't worth a lot of money, but it breaks his heart to see it used like this.
That car is now being used for people committing crimes and causing destruction and heartache to other people. It's really sad that someone's done that.
Police say the destructive rampage ended when the dual cab came flying through Brooks High School, smashing into this fence on the way out. The vehicle is still missing. It's unclear if Monday night's crimes are linked to another incident on Friday, where a pair on push bikes tried and failed to break into the popular karaoke bar, Rockin' Hot Pizza.
They're estimating around 15,000 with the damage done to the frame. It's sort of tucked away in a nice little safe place, surrounded by CCTV. We just didn't expect anything like this to happen to us.
There's a lot of this going on at the moment and we hope that we get some answers.
No charges have been laid. If you can help police identify the culprits, contact Crime Stoppers. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Police have released a photo of a person of interest in the assault of a 30-year-old woman on Sunday afternoon in Launceston's Cataract Gorge. Police say she was walking along the daffodil track when she was grabbed and held in a headlock. She managed to get away and wasn't physically injured. Anyone with information is asked to come forward. One of 3 women accused of assaulting an elderly man in his Fingal home during an aggravated armed robbery has faced court. Shelley May Freeman of Rochalee was due to enter a plea in the Launceston Magistrates Court, but her case was adjourned. She was granted bail and will reappear later this month. A review into mental health care for Tasmanian prisoners has been completed. A task force was set up to review the procedures in the wake of the killing of a North Hobart shopkeeper in 2016. Vula Delios was stabbed to death by a man found to be insane and who had just been released from prison. The coroner is examining the case and heard today the task force has delivered its findings to the government, and that report will be provided to the court in the coming days. Teachers have once again walked off the job in the latest round of strike action to hit Tasmania. Schools in the northwest closed early, causing disruptions and leaving some parents asking how much longer the pay row will go on for.
The sound of stalemate.
What do we want? Pay rise! When do we want it? Now!
Another show of force from Tasmania's unions. Teachers walking out of the class and into rallies. This time in Burnie.
It means they're having their pay docked, but they're doing it begrudgingly, but they're doing it because it's important. They're standing up for the children of Tasmania to ensure they get a quality outcome.
More than 30 schools closed early across the northwest this afternoon. Some parents are losing patience in the standoff.
Oh, I think they deserve a pay rise, yeah, but this is just a little bit inconvenient for everyone.
One father forced to cancel his shift for a school pickup voiced his anger at union bosses.
Well, I'm here to protest the teachers not taking the deal the government's offered, and I miss out on work because of their actions.
Unions aren't budging from demands for a 3% pay rise. The state government is offering 2% and then 2.5% each year after that. Nobody from Cabinet faced the cameras today. Peter Gutwin is sticking to his guns. He's accused unions of dragging the deadlock out to help Labor's federal election hopes.
Oh, that's absolute rubbish. I can tell you, if the government puts a fair offer on the table tomorrow, we'll lock it in.
More school closures and late starts will sweep across the state tomorrow with rallies planned in Hobart and Launceston. Meanwhile, there was a smaller show of force from Metro bus drivers. They're also unhappy with the 2% offer from the company.
And we think that 2% plus the cost of living increase, which would bring it in around 5% per annum, would start to bring us back to where we should be.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian disability advocates are worried about changes to taxi subsidies announced today by the state government. National Disability Insurance Scheme participants will have access to a new supplement, but some say the funding is far too low.
A valued service used by thousands of Tasmanians. Jane Wardlaw relies on disability taxis on a daily basis.
So I have a degenerative condition, and so it's a muscle wasting condition, and so I depend on my maxi taxis to get me to medical appointments and a whole range of things.
But taxi subsidies are changing following the state government scrapping the safety net subsidy. In its place, a new taxi supplement of $1,000 for the first year and $350 every subsequent year. But Ms Wardlaw says transport costs for some people can reach anywhere from $6,000 to $22,000.
And effectively, the state government are punishing people living with profound and significant disability and shutting them back into their homes and not letting them access their community.
This issue needs to be resolved at a federal level, and that's still ongoing. So the state government cannot walk away from people with a disability who need support when it comes to transport.
In a statement, the state government says it's already filling a gap left by the National Disability Insurance Agency, but it's working with them to try and achieve an agreement on the new transport scheme.
I think the state government should extend the current 60-40% passenger subsidy scheme and co-design a proper transport strategy.
NDIS participants will be able to access the taxi supplement until December 1, 2023. Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian reservist soldiers have headed to Victoria for a massive army training exercise. More than 500 people from across Australia and even the UK are undertaking gruelling training in all conditions. In the first of our special reports, Louise Hedger filed this a short time ago.
We're deep in the bush here at Puckapunyal, where more than 30 Tasmanian soldiers are taking part in a major training exercise involving more than 500 people. Those Tasmanians come from across the state, from Hobart, Launceston and Burnie. They're training alongside others from Victoria, South Australia and even the UK. We spoke with one of those Tasmanian soldiers earlier today about the significance of this exercise. Here's what he had to say.
As a reservist, you very rarely get the opportunity to work for a long period of time with other combat corps, other arms corps and cavalry. So it's really good to get the opportunity to actually find out how they work. Pretty much everything that you do as a soldier, we're trying out here.
As well as ramping up basic skills, all soldiers are here preparing for a major training exercise called Talisman Sabre to be held in Queensland in July, where more than 30,000 military personnel will converge. Later in the week, we'll be bringing you more information as this exercise here in Victoria progresses.
The system for determining the value of solar power in Tasmania is unlikely to change anytime soon. The economic regulator is investigating pricing and the benefits of solar generation for the Tasmanian electricity network. It proposed keeping the existing formula for determining the tariff. The regulator examined the possibility of a variable time-based tariff, which would be higher in periods of peak electricity demand, but have found it would be unlikely to benefit solar generators and would require an expensive move to smart metering.
Tasmania's brightest young hockey stars are preparing for the opportunity to shine, with the state set to play host to the Under-18 National Championships, and some solid performances against their mainland rivals could go a long way towards realising their ultimate ambitions. With Tasmania traditionally punching well above its weight in the sport, its next crop of talent says expect no different from them.
It's such an awesome opportunity to have everyone down here in Hobart, and especially playing in front of a home crowd will make it awesome.
The eyes of the Australian hockey world will be on Hobart in a week's time, with a Tasmanian Hockey Centre hosting the 8-day Under-18 National Championships. And for players like Phillida Bridley and Julia Gunn, whose talents have already been identified as part of the Australian future squad, the tournament could prove a big step towards eventually earning themselves a green and gold jersey.
It's a good type of pressure. It's, confidence and to try my best to, show friends and family what I can do and what we can do as a team.
And hopefully everyone comes out, watches us, support us. We've got a pretty strong team and it's looking like it's going to be a good tournament.
To football, and one of the state's proudest clubs will celebrate a long and rich history this weekend, with GLENORCHY hosting North Hobart in its centennial match to mark 100 years as a club.
It was born in 1919. It was created by a heap of young men. A lot of them had been away to the World War, and we can only imagine what they went through.
We're all just custodians. I was just a custodian. The guys now are just custodians. It was our job to look after the club, and now it's the current players' job.
We really respected GLENORCHY. They're a strong side, a tough side, a very fair side, and it's great to be part of their celebrations in their 100-year history. So, it's an honour.
After being delisted by NBL club the Brisbane Bullets and placed on the free agency list, Adam Gibson has found himself a new home with the Launceston-born basketballer and Australian boomer, signed by the competition's newest club, the South East Melbourne Phoenix, on a 2-year deal. The 14-year NBL veteran has played more than 400 games in the league, and Tasmania's impressive run at the National Rowing Championships in New South Wales has continued, with 16-year-old Lucas Wigston taking out the schoolboys' single sculls 2,000 metre event. The buzz is building ahead of Friday's Tasmania V8 Super Sprint at Symmons Plains, and the young up-and-coming drivers will be out to prove themselves on the iconic circuit, including PENRITE Racing's ANTON de PASQUALE, who's currently sitting 15th in the overall rankings following some impressive drives so far this season.
Taking a big sort of leap forward on 12 months ago. Results are a lot better, speed's a lot better, and a lot closer to the front guys. So overall, our speed's been pretty good and it's quite solid.
Drivers arrive in the state tomorrow ahead of the traditional Supercars Transporter Parade from Launceston to Symmons Plains at 3 p.m.
Good evening. Temperatures today range from -3 at Lyawini to 21 at Friendly Beaches and Hobart. Launceston and Devonport 18, Burnie 17. Maxima sat between 1 and 5 above average. King Island, St Helens and Grove 20, Low Head and Ooze 19, Flinders Island and Strawn 18 today, and Lyawini 17 degrees. Low level cloud over the north and west, some high clouds streaming above, plenty off the east coast. Tomorrow, well, actually, still today, low-level cloud over parts of coastal New South Wales. A band is moving over the bight, affecting southern Western Australia. The rest of the mainland has plenty of clear air. Now, tomorrow, we'll see a cold front pushing over the state, extending a trough through southern and Western Australia. High-pressure systems lie over the bight and the Tasman Sea, troughs over the mainland to the west and north. The winds northwesterly at 20 to 30 knots over most waters, shifting south-southwesterly during the day with a slight easing later. We do have a strong wind warning. That's from St Helens Point all the way around to Stanley, a small craft wind alert for the lakes. So windy tomorrow, a morning shower or two for Hobart, clearing 18 the top, 17 for Geeveston and Bothwell with morning showers. Launceston 20 the high, an afternoon shower due, possible shower for Devonport and Cressy with temperatures at 20 and 19. 19 the top also for Burnie with a shower or two clearing. 18 the high for Strawn and 19 the top for Curry on King Island. 21 the high for St Helens with an afternoon shower. Swansea 19 degrees along with Orford, still with a possible shower there for most of the east. UV sitting at 5 and moderate. On Thursday a frosty start but fine apart from a possible late shower over the northwest. Mainly fine on Friday except a possible shower over the north and later over the west again. And on Saturday showers extending across the state early but retreating to the west during the afternoon. A shower or two in Perth tomorrow, cloudy weather for Adelaide and Melbourne, an early fog for Canberra, top of 25, sunny and 25 for Sydney, with showers clearing from Brisbane. And fine and partly cloudy. Hobart 16 at the moment, Launceston 16 as well, and 15 degrees in Devonport. Tuesdays, Joe, I just can't get excited, and that forecast hasn't helped either.
No, his wife doesn't let him drink on a Tuesday, so that's why he's really flat. All right, that's all from the news team. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.